Hello, everybody. Welcome to our finale of Kaiju July. With obviously today's feature is Godzilla versus Kong from 2021. This has a runtime of 1 hour 53 minutes. It's got a 91% audience score with a 78 Rotten Tomato score. Uh, what do you have to say about this particular film? Deleted?
All right. Well, this is a fun one, guys. This is pretty much a check your brain at the door, monsters fighting, monsters switching sides, Clash of the Titans. The plot synopsis reads as follows. The epic next chapter in the cinematic monsterverse pits the two greatest icons in motion picture history against each other. The fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Kong, with humanity caught in a balance. All right. We have, it's directed by Adam Wingard, written by Terry Rossio, Michael Dougherty, Zach Shields, Eric Pearson, and Max Bornstein. Music by Junkie XL. Let's see. Cast including Alexander Skarsgård, who can currently be seen on Murderbot, Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, Aiza Gonzalez, Lance Reddick, the late great Lance Reddick, Kyle Chandler, and I have kind of an interesting connection to Kyle Chandler that I'll talk about when we go later on into the film. Damian Bashir, Kaylee Hoddle, who returns from the previous film, and some other familiar faces. So yeah. 105 minutes of monster madness here, guys. All right. Joining us in the chat, the one and only our favorite Snortopoopus Cuber.
Ow!
All right. Yeah.
Don't go out on the ice if he's hungry.
All right. Channel member Blue Wrench, the voice of Northern Oklahoma.
Curtis Shelby.
All right. Let's see. The Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary.
Look out for her second channel.
Yes, Fluff Chick Productions. Yes. Friend of the channel, Andrea Black.
Andrea!
All right. I am not yet in Cosme, so I need to get over that. Okay.
Yeah. Once again, we're that friendly reminder, as much as we love to bring you those here to YouTube, we cannot. We are restricted to copyright law and the guidelines of YouTube. We don't want to get our channels taken away from us, but we do provide the secondary screening room provided for you. Mm-hmm. If you're catching this on the replay, you'll have to find this on probably HBO Max, maybe Tubi, Pluto TV, or your physical media is always a good idea.
Indeed.
But we can't, as much as we love to show these to you, we just cannot without getting erased from everything. So we'll hope you join us. We'll hope you come back. We hope you'll share this out. We'll hope you have fun today. We got a pretty intense August coming for you, which we'll talk a little about later.
Mhm.
What do you think? Should we light the tires and kick the fires and get this show on the road?
Absolutely. Let's go. All right.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Hello to Aerial Ballet. Also, Santiago Chavez. Good to see you, sir.
Somewhere on Skull Island.
Okay, sound check.
Yep, 5 by 5. Kong's slightly bigger now because it's many years later.
There we go.
I do like this opening. This is great music.
And of course, this little girl here, who is the last of the tribe that we saw in Kong Skull Island.
Of course, we have Monarchs got their motion cameras set up pretty much everywhere on Skull Island, looks like.
Mhm. And of course, to reveal that the young girl is deaf.
Nice, Curtis.
Whoops. Yep.
That's some high level intelligence that Kong has.
Yep. And he's been contained. Monarch has, as you see, completely taken over Skull Island here. And basically, it's the Truman Show.
Yeah.
For Kong. And Rebecca Hall, you might remember her from Ben Affleck's movie, The Town. And also check her out in a independent movie called The Night House. Interesting mystery. Yeah. Well, we see you so far, Curtis. So
Yeah.
yeah, don't worry
Yes.
about that. I think you're good. All right, and we get to our credit sequence here.
Legendary Pictures.
Mhm. Our alternative history where these kaiju exist, and people pretty much, yeah, we know about them now. So in in Kong Skull Island, it was about keeping everything quiet. But when we get, of course, to Godzilla, yeah, and of course that's a nice call back to Bill Randa, who is John Goodman's character. Mhm. We're almost getting like the flow chart here between the creatures that they've taken down in the previous films. And we have Brian Tyree Henry's character, and he is the conspiracy theorist.
Yep.
And as we have come to learn in recent years, many so-called conspiracy theories turn out to be right. He's going
Yeah.
to find out that he's got everything pegged right from the beginning, and that this Apex Cybernetics, which he has infiltrated, is up to something shady.
And that you were just showing the exclusion zone that they had in was
Mhm.
it Tokyo? Yeah.
Uh, Somewhere in Japan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Apex is now built on that ground. Uh, this exclusionary zone. So we have shown you Godzilla 2014. We've shown you Kong Skull Island. There is a movie that comes between those and this film, and that's Godzilla King of the Monsters, which
Yeah.
you get a little bit of a backstory on. That's the film that has King Ghidorah shows up in that one and has a
Rodan.
smackdown with Godzilla. Rodan is in that as well. I think Mothra is in that.
Yeah, Mothra. Yeah. Mothra.
Yeah, and so you're kind of dealing with the aftermath of that film as well and what happened there. Um,
Clever. Pocket knife flash drive. He's next level infiltrated Apex. Oh, here he comes. The big guy himself. They waste no time going after Mr.
No.
Godzilla. And as of any reptile, of course, he doesn't like it. So stop launching your rockets and missiles at me. Godzilla just laying waste, causing mass destruction.
Yeah, they don't know here, of course, is why. Because from the end of Godzilla 2014 through the previous films up to this point, Godzilla's been the good guy, the one who's fighting the other monsters. Now he's attacking and and trying to find out why is he switched sides all of a sudden. All right. Now, the backstory to Millie Bobby Brown's character. She was introduced in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and her parents are Kyle Chandler and Vera Farmiga's characters. And when the San Francisco attack happened, she had a brother who was killed. In that fight, and basically it split up the family, and
Hail FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. There's a recognizable face. Gorgo. We could probably visit that one at another time. Definitely. Before this movie out, that starred. I knew him from True Blood on HBO. If you guys ever watched that series. she more or less adopted this little girl, and uh, she's her active mother. That's one thing I never like to see is Kong in chains. Kind of what waiting for disaster to happen, but you know. Oh boy. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong moving Kong over the water on the steelboat? Chains they claim that are unbreakable. I like her assessment. That's the perfect assessment. Who's the idiot who came up with this idea? That's exactly what I would be saying. Are you out of your mind? Good one, Tim. You're damn right. That is a very good question. How far from Skull Island are they? I don't know. I don't know if the film ever goes over that. You know, this is a one nice little sequence, even though it's CGI and everything, but pretty cool. I'm glad CGI has come to where it is today. Where some films have really shoddy CGI, and other films have amazing CGI. This truly shows Kong's intelligent that he can sign. I love that fact that they incorporated that into the character of Kong. How about you, Julius? Do you like the fact that they
Oh,
incorporated?
indeed, yeah. That he's not a dumb animal. He is very intelligent,
Yeah.
and as time has gone by, even more so.
Of course, you have this kid. You might recognize him. He was in Deadpool 2. I know. Actors now sometimes they work with a linguist for certain roles. He could have a. I don't know if I've actually heard his voice in an interview or something. Something to look up though. Oh, welcome back.
Ooh. I don't believe that this character was in the previous film, Eric. I don't recall him.
No, he. I think he just showed up in this one.
And he's from New Zealand, I believe. I'm sure.
We are 34, 33 minutes, 43 seconds in the film.
Well, Ariel, stay tuned because from this point on, it's going to be pretty much nonstop.
And also keep in mind that yet these movies are made here by Americans. It gets everything must be approved and stamped by approval from Toho Limited. Like
Yeah.
yeah, so like you're gonna do what with our characters? We need to know exactly what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it. You know, Toho's very strict on their characters and licensing, very well protected and preserved. And Toho continues to make their own films as well.
Mhm.
I think they're gonna re-release Shin Godzilla in theaters for limited time release, either this month or in September. I mean, yeah, in August or September. So keep your eye on the lookout in your local theaters to see if you can catch Shin Godzilla at the theater, because that's certainly one that I would like to catch at the theater. Shin Godzilla was freaky. Well, I've never actually seen it, so it would be a first time for me.
It's interesting in that you see the evolution of Godzilla in a different way.
You live in a hole in the wall.
Oh,
Hey, small towns are great, excellent, and I understand it's hard to get really limited releases on at your local theaters. Oh, that's understandable. That's really understandable. About picky about yeah. Here we go, folks. Buckle up. That was great. Godzilla comes right at him.
Hey, Bash.
Yeah.
Two, three, Larry. Like, dude. Bam.
Huge destruction. They kind of just looking at each other with. Okay, we'll call this round a draw.
You want to take this time to remind everyone that if you're coming upon this broadcast, first off, welcome. Please, we're at now 49 minutes into the movie. We cannot air the film live as much as we would like to. However, you can find it on HBO Max to buy or rent on Fandango at home. And of course, you can also sync up with your own physical copy, which we encourage.
Howdy to Big Al presents. Welcome.
Hello, Al. Creator of the
Films with Friends.
Films with Friends as well, yes. Where I will be making my 50th appearance in the coming weeks.
I like that they kept the name Skull Crawlers.
Yeah.
They're like, this is one kaiju we should not be keeping. They're bad. Are all around bad.
Okay, Ariel, to answer this question for you, okay, because there's a movie that we skipped, okay?
Yeah.
Her father basically, is it because she went around with her mom? Yeah, her parents were monarch at one point, and yeah, she's kind of the she's kind of a kaiju super fan, so she knows about all of them. Yeah, there is the question of couldn't they have just flown him out of Skull Island to begin with? Um, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they just wanted an action scene on the water, guys. This is not a movie to take seriously. This is a movie to take it like it's a Michael Bay Transformer sequel. Okay,
Yeah,
that's about as serious as this movie is.
it's one of the modern popcorn type films with a
Yeah.
lot of kaiju action.
If you break down the continuity of these films, does it make sense? No. Is everything explained? Like how come the technology is what it is in these films? Never gets explained. you know how you go from like Godzilla 2014, which for the kind of movie it is fairly grounded. It is almost to a fault, maybe a little too grounded for its own good. And then by the time you've gotten to this point in the series, it's just you just got to take it for what it is. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
They did kill Bryan Cranston off way too early in that film. He's your he's the
Voice of
character.
reason.
He's the voice of reason. He's the character that you're emotionally invested in,
Yeah.
and then the movie just kind of dumps. He really needed to be in the whole series, honestly.
Yeah.
He needed to be a running character.
He, I kind of feel that they used him to put people in seats when it was released. Basically, they were running on by the Bryan Cranston popularity at of the time.
Yeah. And as to Ariel bringing up that Kong Skull Island kills John Goodman off to her. Yeah.
Those are definitely characters I would have liked to seen. Characters I'd like to seen more through the series, but
and I don't know if this is something that the Monarch TV series covers because I haven't seen it. It is whether or not it explains what happened to the characters that survived Skull Island. Well, you've also got to deal with the fact that Skull Island takes place in what I think 70
yeah,
mid
70s, 75
74 75 something like that, kind of basically around the end of the Vietnam War. And Godzilla starts out I think in like 1999 or something and then moves to present day. So having Bryan Cranston and John Goodman's characters meet, that might have been a little tricky. They would have had to have aged Goodman up. But yeah, I get where you're going with that, Ariel. Yeah. there are things story wise that these films could have done differently that would have worked a little bit better, sure. Um, but we've got what we got. So that's why I find these movies to be a bit of a mixed bag. I have fun with this one because I take it for what it is. Um, the Godzilla King of the Monsters film, I was not a big fan of. In fact, it was in my 10 worst of the year. I really did not like that movie. Maybe I'll watch it again and retrospect find something to hang on to in it, but I just thought it was a bit of a mess as a film.
Yeah,
So
it more or less was, but
yeah,
it gave you a mashup with King Ghidorah and
yeah,
Rodan and a little bit of Mothra.
yeah. But as far as look at that, hey, we're falling. Shit, you know. But yeah, of the films, I stand by what I said. I still think Kong Skull Island is the best out of all of them, and that's a movie that's not without its flaws either, but it is my favorite out of the group. And before anyone asks, where is the sunlight and Hollow Earth coming from? I have no idea.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
That's why we say it's basically big budget popcorn flick.
Yeah,
Godzilla and Kong. I mean, you either can't stand it, don't like it, can do without it, or you're like many of few of us are just Godzilla and Kong fans, and that will tolerate the stupidity of some of the plot points and storylines, but that's where I take the Kong. I mean, I'm a big fan of Kong and Godzilla, so I do have to often shut your brain off for some of the plot points and things within these films. But I totally did not. I totally hated Kong, uh, the New Empire, the last one that they did. Good God, that's a scary looking kaiju. He drinks its blood. The spoils of your kill. Oh, giant crabs. Yes, Jim. You had crabs. It's like you're on the moon. Creepy monorail slowing down. That's a hell of a way to put it. Oh, that's classic. Well, that's the kind of things you can do when you're a secret military government, you know, with secret funds. Yeah. Here we have the introduction of a mecha Godzilla. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ariel. Uh, something like that would be beyond. Yeah. Yep, time to run.
Skull crawlers are back.
They're also dealing with unclassified, unauthorized weapons of mass destruction here.
Mhm. Now here's something that I wish this movie would have gotten more into, or maybe had this character in other films that we could get the through line is obviously the break between Dr. Serizawa and his son, who we're introduced to in this film, who is very much kind of the corporate, the company man. He is the one who is psychically controlling Mecha Godzilla, much as the creatures in the previous film are being controlled, um, which is where that technology comes from. And obviously, it's not something his father would have been down with, but I would have just liked to have seen. But like so many things in this series, I would have liked to have seen. There are so many ways they could have gone into the characters and made them just as interesting as they make the characters in Godzilla -1. They could have just as easily done that in this series, and they've kind of chosen not to. You kind of have to you kind of have to guess. Well, I mean, whether he blames Godzilla for his father's death or not, his father made that choice. Much as the original Serizawa did in the '54 film. So I mean, his blame is misplaced, in my opinion. Here's this weapon that we're going to see.
It,
Evolve. Yeah.
It looks like that is a bone with a Godzilla scale, one of his Godzilla's back scales.
It's something.
That's what it looks like to me.
This is either that or he just gets off on killing things. Since we saw how he looked when that skull killing that skull crawler, then again, Gadir could also be already taking over his mind. Yeah, I think it's more of the Gadir influence than anything.
Kong has a throne.
Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, it is a dorsal fin? Okay. Fair enough.
Oh,
Yeah, you okay there, Bill?
yeah.
Okay. The bridge. Honestly, Ariel, I don't recall. I've done the best I can to kind of forget that movie. To be honest. Um, Now, I said earlier in the show that I actually have an interesting connection to Kyle Chandler. Um, I was an extra in the first movie he was ever in, and it's called "Quiet Victory: The Charlie Wiedemeyer Story." It was a made-for-TV movie in 1988, and you can find it on Amazon. I am in it for a total of about 7 seconds. The camera passes by me twice in a crowd shot. And one of these days, when I get my own watch parties going, I'll see what I can do about showing you that movie and pointing out where I am in the film. Um, of course, Godzilla's now boring down into the earth so he can get down into Hollow Earth to take on Kong. Because, of course, as they say in Highlander, there can be only one. Can only be one King Titan. Hey, we didn't agree to that. You're making the monkey mad.
Don't upset the giant gorilla.
We got bats. Yeah, we're losing the red shirts.
That's one ugly chicken. Get out of here, ugly chicken.
They're calling us a Klingon at heart. Yeah, I think so. Whoops. Hello in there. Play-Doh.
She had it coming.
Yeah. Roll fizzle beef. Mr. Bonsai, the president is on the line. Is everything okay with the alien space cloud, or should we just go ahead and blow up Russia? Tell him yes on one and no on two. Which one was it? Number two or blow up Russia? Yeah, criminy.
Can't we all just get along?
That's a nice callback.
Oh, damn. We're at 1 hour, 25 minutes, 33 seconds.
Next.
Good.
Ow.
This town's very cyberpunkish. Oh.
And are there people in these buildings? I would say it's probably likely.
Having a roar off.
That's 8 for get a breath mint. But your breath stank. Why am I in Hong Kong?
think Kong dislocated his arm or elbow, something. Godzilla, Mega Godzilla is pretty much like, kind of like the where was the when we did the main part.
Oh, poopy. And the Simmons and Shirazawa lines are gone.
Yeah. So, Begley, I think Mega Godzilla is being run by its own AI now. The programming has taken over. The AI has taken over Mega Godzilla. I think that's what happened. That's what happened, right?
Yeah, big out. A yo mama joke? Come on, Tim. That's beneath you. I am disappointed in you, young man.
We're gonna get a team up. here coming up shortly. Off to the bed. It's a joke on King Dolphin TV. Okay. I'll take your word for it. No worries.
Yes, it's supposed to be Hong Kong. Yeah. Alexander Skarsgård is Jeff Goldblum in Holy St. Stephen. We got to get out of here.
I mean, it's the pirated movies online. Well, everybody does that in 2025. Oh, wait. I'm not denying or confirming anything whatsoever. Whatever gets your heart pumping in the morning. Meanwhile, Mecha Godzilla is toying with real Godzilla.
All right, fine. I'll go save the lizard.
My arm still hurts like hell.
Oh!
Yeah. Thank you, Martin Riggs. I learned that one from Martin Riggs. This whole movie called Lethal Weapon. Camera! Team up! Kaiju, team up! Short the system. That's thinking on your feet or on your seat.
Chekhov's flask. Bam!
Come on, kick and make a Godzilla ass. I put your damn legs off. I've had enough of your metal. Helicopter flying around.
Mhm. Hello, lady. This Northman sequel is weird. You can't prove that.
Wow, Curtis, that's this was the last one you saw on the big screen. That's been a long time. In fact, it was out 2021.
And King Kong and Godzilla call a truce. Godzilla returns to the sea, and Kong's going to go back to Hollow Earth. All right. That was Godzilla versus Kong.
Yep.
All right. Well, the Hollies, yeah. Here's a bit of a treat for anyone who is interested. Okay, let me go back and find this again. Let's see. All right. Here is my review for Godzilla versus Kong that I wrote back when I saw the film. Hold on. Let me locate this. Okay. This is the original review that I wrote for Letterboxd, which I also transposed to Criticalist as well. All right. Read as such. Lizard and monkey punch each other for 105 minutes, and I don't mind. Because this brings back memories. I saw the first bout between these behemoths during a Godzilla triple feature at the late Fox Theater as a child. I've been a fan ever since. I found the latest franchise to be a mixed bag. One meh, one decent, one bad. So this time I went in with low expectations. I've seen GVK twice now and have the same issues that everyone else does. There are plot holes you could sail an aircraft carrier through. The technology on display doesn't track with the previous films. The human characters, while not annoying, are for the most part unnecessary. And where exactly is the sunlight and Hollow Earth coming from? But that's not why we're here. We're here to see the lizard and the monkey fight, and it is glorious. Fans of the genre will revel in the carnage, if they don't think about it too much. It's the fun, entertaining summer action movie cheese that we all needed. It doesn't lecture us on how to behave, or talk down to us like we're children, or unnecessarily interject politics into its narrative. We deserve more movies like this one, after the long year we've had. We deserve to relax a little. Whether you choose to venture out to see GVK on an IMAX screen, or from the confines of your home on HBO Max, turn your brain off, sit back, and enjoy the ride. Final score, do the Monster Mash. And I gave it a 3 out of 5, which I stick by. All right, that was my original review that I wrote back in 2021 for Godzilla vs. Kong. All right.
Time to open the scrolls.
Shall I consult the scrolls? Okay.
Yes. You may consult the scrolls.
All right. Godzilla vs. Kong was released March 31st, 2021 at an estimated budget of $200 million, going on to gross over $470 million worldwide. It won the Saturn Award that year for visual effects and was nominated for Best Science Fiction Film. Was nominated for Best Visual Effects at both the Denver Film Critics Society and the Discussing Film Critic Awards. Nominated for 4 Golden Schmoes Awards for Best Sci-Fi Movie of the Year, Best Action Sequence of the Year for the final fight, Visual Effects, and Favorite Movie Poster of the Year. Nominated for Visual Effects at the Minnesota Film Critics Alliance Awards. The North Carolina Film Critics Association nominated Brian Tyree Henry for the Tar Heel Award because he's from Fayetteville. All right. So we're like practically neighbors. All right. The Satellite Awards nominated for visual effects. Nominated for 3 Visual Effects Society Awards. Outstanding Visual Effects in a Photoreal Feature. Virtual Cinematography in a CG Project. And Effects Simulations in a Photoreal Feature. Won the Golden Angel Award at the Chinese American Film Festival for Most Popular U.S. Film in China. Was nominated for the Dragon Award for Best Science Fiction or Fantasy Movie. Nominated at the Hollywood Professional Association Awards for Visual Effects and Sound. Nominated at the Las Vegas Film Critics Society Awards for Best Horror or Sci-Fi Film and Visual Effects. Nominated for the same at the Portland Critics Association Awards. And won the Seal of Authentic Representation at the Ruderman Family Foundation Seal of Authentic Representation. Okay, whatever the hell that is. But okay, congrats. All right. Was announced in Variety and The Hollywood Reporter on September 17th, 2015. Official pitch to the studios, March 23rd, 2016, October 10th, 2016. The script itself was finally completed May 13th, 2017. Film went into pre-production June 4th, 2018. Began filming November 13th, 2018. Went into post-production April 21st, 2019. Was completed February 12th, 2021, and was released in theaters March 24th, 2021. Filming locations included the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, the Village Roadshow Studios in Oxenford, Queensland, Australia, Fortitude Valley, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Let's see. Some scenes shot in New York. Also, Kluwer Ranch, 49560, Kamehameha Highway, Oahu, Hawaii. The Ipswich Rail Workshop in Queensland, Australia. Stage 7 of the Village Roadshow Studios, Oxenford, Queensland, Australia. Stage 9 of the Village Roadshow Studios, Oxenford, Queensland, Australia. All right. Moving on to Some of the music used: Over the Mountain Across the Sea, Bobby Vinton; Loving Arms, Elvis Presley; Breaking the Law, Judas Priest; The Glowing Light, A Promise, Matthew Pesty; and let's see, Chinese Festival, Derek Fletcher and Brendan Fletcher; Tea Ceremony, written and performed by Brendan Fletcher; Into the Deep, which was in the Japanese released version of the film, performed by Man with a Mission; and of course the closing credits, The Hollies with The Air That I Breathe. All right. Trivia. There are 535 trivia items.
Wow.
Needless to say, I will not be reading all of them now. So you're going to have to go over to IMDb Pro, where I happen to have a page to read all of them, but I'm going to read a few of them off here. All right, the first film in 59 years to feature both King Kong and Godzilla after 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla. Toho Company Limited, the Japanese company that owns Godzilla and produced the original King Kong vs. Godzilla. What the hell was that?
Good question. I do not know. Oh. That was somebody who turned on their mic in the Cosby room.
Okay. All right. Well, let's close out the Cosme side then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Toho Company Limited, a Japanese company that owns Godzilla and produced the original King Kong vs. Godzilla, re-edited and re-released in the U.S. as King Kong vs. Godzilla, and intended to produce an immediate sequel to the film titled Continuation, King Kong vs. Godzilla. After a story treatment had been developed, it was eventually canceled. Later, Toho thought about remaking the film in the early 1990s under the title Godzilla vs. King Kong. However, they were prevented from making the film due to legal issues with Turner Entertainment. Godzilla vs. Kong was heavily teased in the post-credit scene of the MonsterVerse's second film, Kong Skull Island. This movie is released 87 years after the first King Kong, 66 years after the first Godzilla, 58 years after the original Japanese King Kong vs. Godzilla, 57 years after the American re-edit, 45 years after King Kong, 16 years after Peter Jackson's King Kong, and 4 years after Kong Skull Island. Co-writer Terry Rossio had previously written a script titled Godzilla vs. the Griffin, which was never produced. It is unknown whether elements of that script made it here. Kyle Chandler previously appeared in Peter Jackson's King Kong, which is not part of the same continuity. Damian Bashir is the second Conjuring actor to star in a MonsterVerse film after Vera Farmiga was in Godzilla King of the Monsters. The film takes place 5 years after Godzilla King of the Monsters and 51 years after Kong Skull Island, which took place in 1973. The movie's title is a reversal of the names from the original, with King Kong first and Godzilla second. In this, it's Godzilla first and Kong second. Well, like anyone cares. Okay. This will be the second film featuring Godzilla to have Lance Reddick, though he only appears in one scene for less than a minute. Reddick previously appeared in Godzilla 1998, which isn't connected to this one. To prepare for the film, director Adam Wingard said in an interview that he revisited a handful of Godzilla and King Kong films he grew up watching. which revived the sense of empathy he felt for the monsters as a kid. And that emotional element is exactly what he wants to bring to his Mega Monster crossover. Some of those Godzilla movies I haven't seen since I was a kid, so revisiting them was a lot of fun. To be able to almost go back in time and re-experience what it was like, I was able to directly empathize with that feeling when I really felt like maybe Godzilla is going to lose in this movie. That was really important because it helped me remember going forward on Godzilla versus King Kong, the kind of feelings people are going to have when they watch it. That's what I want to do. I really want you to take those characters seriously. I want you to be emotionally invested, not just in the human characters, but actually in the monsters. If I had my way, I want people to be really teary eyed at the end of the movie to be that invested in what's going on. When asked about the apparent height difference between Godzilla and Kong in 2018, Adam Wingard said they gave us a good out in Kong Skull Island when they mentioned that Kong is still growing. That'll be a challenge to have to deal with, and we're very aware of that issue. In June 2019 interview with Deadline, Warner Brothers Studios chairman Toby Emmerich stated that the film's release date may be pushed back from its slated 13 March 2020 release date. The outlet speculated that this may mean the studio orders reshoots, even though director Adam Wingard had already announced a wrap on principal photography. Some fear delaying the movie to the summer or holiday seasons may be a mistake, because it would put the film in the middle of weekends packed with other blockbusters, which is one reason why Godzilla King of the Monsters didn't do as well as expected. When the pandemic hit in March 2020, delaying this and all other films, after a full year, the film was finally released in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously, scoring the highest theatrical opening weekend of any film released during the pandemic. When Alexander Skarsgård, who plays a geologist, was asked why he decided to appear in this film, he initially considered it because he had done a row of quite dark and intense characters and wanted to try something different. Ultimately, though, it was the opportunity to work with director Adam Wingard, whom he describes as smart, lovely, and incredible with actors, that actually made him sign up. When he reached out, the tone of the genre in the movie is much different to the smaller, darker movies I've done. It was a character I was really ready to play. It is a character that's very likable. Before being hired for the film, composer Tom Holkenberg, aka Junkie XL, had already written music for Godzilla just for fun. He described himself as a Godzilla fanatic who owned all the films in the original Japanese. While he was being hired, he mentioned this to director Adam Wingard and showed him what he had composed. For the film, he felt they needed to use the biggest bass drum on the planet. This is Shun Ogori's Hollywood feature film debut, by extension, his English language film debut. This would be the third Kong movie to be released in the month of March. The original King Kong released March 2nd, 1933. Kong Skull Island released March 10th, 2017. When a trailer premiered, the Godzilla and King Kong fan site wikizilla.org went offline due to the amount of traffic generated by visitors wanting to view the trailer. The film had already generated 1,000 pages on the discussion thread in Toho Kingdom forums a month before release. Running at just 113 minutes, this is the shortest film in the Monsterverse. Gia is a deaf Iwi girl portrayed by Kaylee Hoddle, who is from an all-deaf family. The auditions for the character came down to a handful of deaf actresses, with Hoddle impressing director Adam Wingard the most, making it clear she was a professional. Tried making her laugh at one point, attempting Michael Jackson's moonwalk, and she was just completely deadpan. He learned then to let her do her thing and to stay out of her way. Wingard took 3 months of sign language lessons, but was incapable of grasping it. He ended up using an interpreter alongside Hoddle, supposed to avoid embarrassing himself. earned over 122 million during its opening weekend sales, the biggest opening of a movie released during the pandemic. The giant cobra-like snakes seen in the Hollow Earth are called Titanus warbats. Although they were supposedly called Nozuki during pre-production, a larger version of them, dubbed Titanus Kamazots, appear in the prequel comic book Kingdom Kong. The vulture-like creatures are known as the Hellhawks. This is Millie Bobby Brown's and Kyle Chandler's second MonsterVerse movie after Godzilla King of the Monsters. This is also Chandler's second movie featuring Kong after Peter Jackson's King Kong, although that film is not connected with this. None of the characters in Kong Skull Island appear in or are even mentioned in this movie, but Joe Morton did appear in Godzilla King of the Monsters, playing an older Dr. Houston Brooks, the character played by Corey Hawkins in Kong Skull Island. Apex's ship used in the movie are named Heave, Heav. It's short for Hollow Earth Anti-Gravity Vehicle. Julian Dennison, who plays Josh, described his character as a nerd, and Madison is his only friend. Dennison called Josh the realist in the duo, stating he kind of brings it, we shouldn't do that because we'll all die. And she's like, nah, it'll be fine. So I think they play very well together. They're a good mix of just craziness. Okay. Adam Wingard explained why the movie's runtime is a little less than 2 hours. He stated that this is on purpose, telling Variety that he prefers to keep his films under the 2-hour mark. I wish every director would do that. The director also said that if Godzilla vs. Kong were to run for 3 hours, it likely would include an additional hour of Titans duking it out. He stated, a lot of the fans online are all asking me, is this going to be a 3-hour film? When it was announced it was a little under 2 hours, they immediately thought, when is the director's cut coming out? I like movies under 2 hours. I think if you do a movie over 2 hours, you better have a damn good reason for it to be that long. At the end of the day, you're going to make this movie into 3 hours. You're not going to get an extra hour of monsters fighting. You're going to get an extra hour of people talking about monsters. All right. Producer Alex Garcia said of the character of Walter Simmons, he's risen to a place in the seats of power and is wanting to help stem and stop the madness and destruction. Garcia stated that Walter isn't necessarily a villain or a Machiavellian character, but is a very complex character who believes he's doing the right thing. And he may be. That's where the mystery at the core of the film comes into play. Julian Dennison screen tested with Millie Bobby Brown using scenes from Romeo and Juliet. Okay. Brian Tyree Henry described Bernie as a crackpot with a level of heart and loyalty. Henry noted that the tragic death of Bernie's wife shaped him to become a conspiracy theorist at the podcast, and further elaborated, though he never explains why, with his goal being to use the tools at his disposal to bring the truth to the people. I always refer to Bernie as anonymous. He sees the injustices, but no one really listens to him. Due to Bernie's protective nature of Madison and Josh, Henry jokingly liked Bernie to Brienne of Tarth. Okay, fair enough. Rebecca Hall described her participation as overwhelming due to the film being her first project after her pregnancy, but found the experience thrilling. Aiza Gonzalez described her role as a very smart woman behind the company. She also described the film as slightly comedic. Yeah, it kind of is. When Nathan Lind meets Walter Simmons, Lind shows Simmons a magazine with Eileen Andrews on the cover, which is titled The Kong Whisperer. It refers to the Horse Whisperer based on the 1995 Nick Evans novel. Jessica Henwick and Zhang Ziyi had been cast in the movie, but their roles ended up being cut. Zhang appeared in the previous Godzilla movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Lance Reddick also had his role reduced in the editing. In the trailer, Godzilla's attack on the aircraft carrier convoy is accompanied by the eerie vocalizations of Giorgio Ligeti's Requiem, just like the Halo jump scene from Godzilla. The trailer features a scene resembling one from Godzilla, with Godzilla making a beeline towards a battleship. Unlike in the 2014 movie where Godzilla dove under it at the last minute, the trailer shows him ripping it to shreds with his dorsal plates. One card in the opening credits montage is a picture from William Bill Randa's 1973 expedition to Skull Island. Randa, played by John Goodman in the film, first observed Kong on this mission. Although he was eventually eaten by a skullcrawler, his legacy lives on in the Monarch archives. The Denham University of Theoretical Science in the film is named after Carl Denham, the main character from the original King Kong and Peter Jackson's remake, who first mounts the expedition to Skull Island because he wants to film a motion picture there. All right, I'm going to read off a few more of these. All right. In the script to Jan de Bont's attempt at a Godzilla film in the 1990s, as well as a few pieces of concept art, Godzilla is mentioned and shown to be able to move on all fours in a few scenes. In this movie, an enraged Godzilla chases after Kong on all fours. Ironically, the screen story was developed by Terry Rossio, who co-wrote the 90s unused script. Mechagodzilla's second live-action appearance since Ready Player One, where it was shown as a video game avatar. The movie was released on Brian Tyree Henry's birthday. When Kong enters the chamber, he lets out a roar similar to the character's roar in King Kong. The Godzilla theme in this movie borrows the main cue from the original King Kong vs. Godzilla. Alexander Skarsgård had played Tarzan in The Legend of Tarzan in the comic book series The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, created by Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill. The characters of Tarzan, King Kong, and Godzilla exist in its universe. In a key scene, Nathan Lynn, played by Alexander Skarsgård, says they need enough electricity to power Las Vegas for a week. Skarsgård also plays Randall Flagg in the latest adaptation of Stephen King's novel. In The Stand, Flagg rules a post-pandemic Las Vegas, which is brilliantly lit with power. Despite his prominent role in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, eco-terrorist Alan Jonah, played by Charles Dance, never appears in this movie, and his name isn't mentioned. Director Adam Wingard originally wanted James Rolfe, best known for the YouTube show The Angry Video Game Nerd, to be a background extra, but Rolfe immediately turned down the role due to scheduling conflicts. Wingard, who credits Rolfe's Godzillathon web series for piquing his interest in the Godzilla franchise, was dead set on having Rolfe appear in the film as an extra or a bit part. Although he initially agreed, he immediately had to turn down any offer due to a second child being born 18 months before principal photography began. Charles Dance, Ken Watanabe, Zhang Ziyi were all expected to reprise their roles from previous films in the series, along with newcomer Jessica Henwick, although it is unclear if any of them shot any scenes or if their characters were cut at the script stage. Dance's Alan Jonah was meant to be in the scene where he and his forces are killed by Apex cybernetic soldiers while stealing Ghidorah's severed left head, while Watanabe's Shirazawa would have featured in scenes exploring his relationship with his son Ren. Additionally, Lance Reddick's role was severely cut down. Denham University, we said that already. All right. All right. I'll close out with this one. The entire first fight between Godzilla and Kong is a whole scene shout out to Neon Genesis Evangelion, which did the exact same scene 26 years earlier, and later on when And later on, when Ren questions how the injection of the Hollow Earth energy into the mecha might negatively affect it, Simmons just tells him, get in the goddamn chair. Okay. I guess that's the same thing. All right. Yeah, like I said, there's like 500 more. I'm not going to read them all here. So let's, I'm going to go ahead and close the scrolls there, folks. All right. Hello to Van Hansela Coder. Good to see you, sir. Please do Godzilla versus Kong: The New Empire next. Well, maybe the next time we get around to doing some kaiju films in a row, we might come back and do that. And thank you, some Curtis and Connie. Good to see you. Glad you're both here. Bill. Are you live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There. Okay. I didn't hear you for a sec. For a while there, I thought I'd lost StreamYard. All right.
No, I had to step away for a moment.
Okay. All right. Like I said, there are over 500 pieces of trivia on IMDb Pro. I'm not going to read them all off to you right now, guys. It's too much. Please go and check. Please go and check that out. And also, I have a page there, so check that out. All right.
Van, what was that? How do you pronounce that?
Van Hanzilla is how I've been pronouncing it. I don't know if that's correct.
If you truly want New Empire, I can do it for you this Saturday at 12 noon Pacific time. About 12:30 Pacific time. If you truly want that one, if anybody wants to see that one, I can do it for you at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. I'll put it up in a bit. If you guys want to come see that one, I can do an extra one for you guys. But as for the month of August, and now I don't know for sure if we can do this one next Thursday, but what I had in mind, and I don't know this depending on your schedule, Deleted. Mm-hmm. I'll show you what I had in mind for next week. 7 Samurai. Mm-hmm. I like this background. It does have an extensive runtime of 3 hours and 27 minutes.
Yep.
So I want to make sure you can be there for that. So, but I was for a lot of August. I was thinking a lot of samurai films, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case because I got some really great ones. I got some Dirty Harry movies. I got Centurion. I got a lot of great samurai. So if I was going to go with a theme for August, it would be the samurai theme because I got a lot of great ones for you. Well, where do you think you stand?
Well, we've been meaning to do Seventh Samurai in August for a while, so yeah. I would say let's go ahead and go with it
for next Thursday.
If you'd like, yeah.
Okay, I'm perfectly good with it for next Thursday. Same time, same channels. It would be 1:30 Pacific time, 4:30 Eastern, Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
Seven Samurai. A long but action packed film.
Yeah, we're with the length of the film, we're probably going to keep the preamble super short
Yeah.
and just get into the film. Uh, I'm sure there'll be some trivia. I will probably keep that short as well, um, depending on how much is there. And yeah, so Seven Samurai will be the next uh, Thursday Action Theater
Mm-hmm.
at 4:30 p.m. And then we will go on for next. Like I said, we have plenty of movies that we want to do.
Absolutely.
Definitely more films in this. We definitely have Yojimbo and Sanjuro coming up.
Yep.
We've got some other movies we've been bandying about. We've brought up Centurion on the show as one that we're going to do in the future.
Yep.
We are going to get to the Dirty Harry films. So yeah, we and I definitely have a few ideas as well. So
So yeah, I've also
yeah,
got,
so
as far
stay tuned.
uh samurai movies, I got 13 Assassins and Blade of the Immortal. So some really great high rated action packed samurai gloriousness. Also have Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow and Sahara, the a Dirk Pitt novel that was the only one transformed into film. It didn't do well, but
number two, yeah,
Sahara.
yeah, and Race to Titanic was done, I think, in like the late '70s, early '80s.
Yeah, it was like 78, I think 78.
Yeah. With Richard Jordan playing Dirk Pitt.
I even got the original Journey to the Center of the Earth, old school, that we could do at one time.
Uh-huh.
A lot of good ones that I got lined up for. So
we have a lot coming up, and there's also going to be some more recent films too, like in the last like this year and the last year, that we're talking about doing as well for the show. So join us there. All right. That's it, certainly from my side. I don't have the links up yet, but I am going to go on with coming attractions tonight at 11:30. I'm also going to schedule an episode of Unscripted for 8 o'clock on Sunday, and I'm also going to have a very special episode of Reserved Seats on Sunday night. That show will be coming back, and so join me tonight, and you'll get all of the deets, as they say.
All right. I'd like to thank you all for coming and joining us today. Ben Hanzilla, KOTR, thank you. Always the tired midnight blogger, the voice of Northern Oklahoma, Curtis Shelby, Connie Clary, strong supporter of Deleted Scenes and my channel. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. Ariel Ballet. Big Al presents FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Andrea Block, friend of the channels. And Snortapupus Cuber. How? As I always like to say at the end of these, remember to be excellent to one another and party on. And we'll see you on the next one. And then I'll let Deleted Scene say his parting words.
And as I always say at the end of every show, thank you all once again for joining us. Whether you just stop by to take a peek, or if you're with us here in the main chat or on Cosme. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy. Don't make the lizard or the monkey mad. Because this is how we win.